All right, Coach, let's talk about how the teams look so far early in the season and the new roster this season.
Well, it's been an interesting start. Obviously, just with 1 week of preparation, basically before our first tournament. But I really like what I see, and it's such a different team than I've ever been associated with. A smaller team with only 9 on the roster, and a different mix of players. But I think it's a team that sometimes we're going to see some brilliant play out of it. We're really going to shine, and I think that sometimes we're really going to stumble, and we're really going to get beat up. And I really think initially I see indications that these guys will be able to lift themselves up off the mat when they get knocked down, and that's what we're going to need to do as a team. We are going to need to develop and need to get better. And I think the core of this group really want to get better, and that's a key thing. And I think they know they need to get better. And from a coaching perspective, it's gratifying to see that there is still room for improvement. As good as they have been at times, and as brilliant as I've seen some things from them, there's still a lot of room left to improve. It's a young team, an old team, a mixed-up team. We got 2 seniors, 3 freshmen. I mean, not a lot of experience per se, truthfully, but at the same time, I think it's a team that has an opportunity to be a quality team and another NCAA postseason team and a very competitive team in the conference. It's going to be a fun ride, an interesting ride, kind of a different ride for us, I think. Don't quite know what to expect. There's a little bit, at least a little bit of fun in that. Not always real fun, but it's going to be interesting to see who rises to the top, and we definitely need a player or two to really make an impact. And I think of the 9 players, any of them could. We've already seen some indications of that in qualifying.
And you kind of hinted at it there with qualifying this week, going up to the Northern Intercollegiate where the team won last year, taking a much different team up there this week. Just talk about how qualifying went this week and the new faces in the lineup this week.
A much different team is an understatement. Really a vastly different team. Qualifying is always interesting. We had 5 great rounds of qualifying. We did 1 here at IU. We went to Otter Creek. They're very gracious over there to host us. Also, we got a chance to play Crooked Stick in 36 holes at Wolf Run. Great venues, championship length. And Max Collins, sophomore, kind of dominated qualifying. And Max is a talented young man. And it's great to see him see some success after struggling his freshman year. Kind of a tough transition for Max coming in from out of Michigan to college. A very heralded recruit for us, but it was a tough transition. I think even the first day Max got back on campus, I could see a little different young man. He's matured, he's grown. We knew he had the ability, but that maturity is a big part of this game as well. So Max will lead us at number 1, and then Nick Grubnich, a junior, who has not played also as a part of the team. He's played individually, finished 2nd in qualifying. And, that was a pleasant surprise for us, too. We know Nick can play, and all these young men can play. But he played solid golf. He got the ball in the hole, and he earned a spot on this roster for this tournament. Hugo Menendez, young man from Spain, who had such a great fall for us last year and kind of faltered a little bit in the spring, played solid. Played very well and also earned a spot in the lineup. Then David Mills, a young man we need to rise to the top. We need to see that brilliance we've seen throughout his career at times shine a little bit more often. I don't think I know David has not missed a tournament in his career here, so he's in the lineup. Freshman Will Sager, of our 3 freshmen on paper, probably the most impressive resume. Played in the USAM this summer. Shot final around 68 at Wolf Run, which speaks for itself to earn a spot in the lineup. So those 4 are our top 5. We'll play them: Max, number 1, David Mills, number 2, Nick Grubnich, 3, Hugo, 4, and then Will Sager, 5. Then we get a chance to play an individual. And Andrew Havel, who, has kind of struggled a little bit the last year or so, but I see a lot of promise in that young man as a freshman, and he played well in qualifiers. He gets a great opportunity here to play as an individual, chance to maybe secure a spot in the lineup for next week. And it's going to be, even though I think we may take our knocks, even though I think we may get beat up at times, it's going to be an interesting ride and a fun ride, and I can't wait for the season to get started.